If you've been around shooting at all here lately, at least since January of this year, 2025, you've probably heard something about the 7 Backcountry. So what we're going to do is take the 7 Backcountry and compare it with the 7 PRC and then a 7 Remington Mag, and we are going to compare muzzle velocities of each one of these: 2982, 2803, 3018. The numbers here didn't lie. Hey, what's up everybody? So I've got a video here that I am very excited to do. I think mostly because I'm not too sure what's going to happen. We're going to do a video on the 7 Backcountry by Federal Ammunition. If you've been around shooting at all here lately, at least since January of this year, 2025, you've probably heard something about the Backcountry. Anytime something new comes out, you're not going to make everybody happy. There's going to be somebody that finds something to complain about, and there's going to be people that sings its praises. And sometimes those people haven't even shot what they're talking about. They're just either happy or they're not happy about it. So we're going to give you some real world information on the 7 Backcountry. If you don't know what that is, it is a new cartridge that Federal Premium Ammunition has come out with. As you can guess by the name, it is a 7mm cartridge. One of the things that they've done different is that they are using a different type of casing. It is a steel alloy. The extreme short version of that, this casing allows for higher pressures. The higher pressure is allowing for higher muzzle velocities with a shorter rifle. That is the whole spin on this cartridge, and I'll get into more details on that here in just a little bit. So what we're going to do is take the 7 Backcountry and compare it with the 7 PRC, which there's already been several videos that have done that. And then what we're going to do different is add in a 7 Remington Mag in there as well. What we're going to do is get the Garmin out, and we are going to compare muzzle velocities of each one of these and see if the claim on muzzle velocities is actually true that Federal is putting out there. Now, I'll back up one second here and tell you exactly what we've got. In the 7 Backcountry, we have a Christensen Arms Ridgeline with a 20-inch barrel. On the end of it is a Dead Air Nomad TI-XC. Next to that is the exact same rifle in PRC, but with a 22-inch barrel and the same suppressor. And then next to that is the 7 Remington Mag with a 26-inch barrel and also the same suppressor on it. Out of the Backcountry for this video, obviously we're going to be shooting Federal Premium Ammunition. This will be the Fusion tipped with 175 grain. Out of the PRC, also shooting 175 grain, but it will be the Hornady ELD-X. And I couldn't find the ammo that I wanted for the 7 Remington. It is also the Hornady ELD-X, and it is in, oops, wrong one. It's 162 grain. So we do have a bit of a difference there, but we're going to shoot all three of them, see what kind of muzzle velocities we get. We're going to share that with you, and then we'll make an evaluation from there. All right, first up is the Remington 7 Mag. Again, we're using Hornady 162 grain. And just for the record, on the box, they have a muzzle velocity of 29.75. So we're going to do 3 rounds, and then we'll just give you the average. We're going to do that on all 3 rifles. And this is, we're just shooting at 100 yards. We're not really worried about groups or any of that just yet. All right. All right, so that one was 2982. 2956, 57. and 29.92. All right, so now we have the 7 PRC. Again, this is a 22-inch barrel. We're shooting Hornady ELDX 175 grain, and muzzle velocity is saying 3,000 feet per second. So we're gonna do 3 rounds with it and see where we're at. .2803. .2789. And 2764. Okay, so this one is the 7 Backcountry, again a Christensen Arms Ridgeline 20-inch barrel, and we are shooting the Federal Premium Fusion tipped 175 grain. And the box on it calls for, just a second, make Tim happy. Out of a 20-inch barrel, it is calling for 29.75, which is what we're shooting, 20-inch barrel. Of a 24-inch barrel, it would be 31.25. But 29.75 is what it's calling for out of a 20-inch barrel. All right, here we go. .3018. .3031. And 29.98. Before we get into anything about the backcountry, first I need to tell everybody up front, most of y'all already know this, but I don't want somebody saying, oh yeah, it's because you're sponsored by Federal. We've been partnered with Federal. They're actually our longest running partner. We've been partnered with them in some capacity since around 2006. So we do a ton of work with them. I'm a big fan. That's pretty much what I shoot exclusively. But anyway, I just want to put that out there just so that you all know we're not trying to hide anything. We're not trying to skew anything one way or the other. That's why what I'm getting ready to go over next is just the numbers. It's not an opinion. It's not anything my opinion, Jimmy's opinion, Steve's opinion. These are just the raw numbers of what we just did in front of you guys. And I'm going to read this to you. I got to put on my glasses so I can see. So I started with the Remington mag. Again, that one was shooting 162 grain. That was the closest that I could find as far as ammo to the 175 we were shooting in the other two. So obviously it's going to be a little bit faster, and that was out of a 26-inch barrel. That's what we had, but that's what we wanted to compare the difference to a 20-inch barrel that we used on the backcountry. So with that one, the muzzle velocity average out of the 3 shots was 29.77. And then if you look at the velocities at 300 yards, we would be at 25.91, and then at 600 yards at 22.35. That's the Remington mag. Then you move on to the PRC. That was out of a Christensen Arms 22-inch barrel. We were shooting the Hornady ELDX 175 grain out of that one. The average muzzle velocity was 27.85, And then you continue on downrange, 300 yards would be 24.41, 600 yards would be 21.24. So this one was a little bit surprising for the PRC. Like I said, the box calls for 3,000. Why it was considerably lower, I don't know. That's just what it was. The group at 100 was really good. So it was, it was spot on as far as that, but the velocities are quite a bit lower than what it says on the box. Then we get to the 7 Backcountry, again another Christensen Arms, but a 20-inch barrel, the shortest of the three. Also shooting 175 grain with the Fusion tipped. The muzzle velocity average on it was 3,015, so that was the highest of all three rifles. You get to 300 yards and you get to 2587, which is really interesting because you go back to the Remington Mag shooting the 162 grain with a 26-inch barrel. You only gained 4 feet per second out of that compared to the Backcountry. Then you get to 600 yards on the Backcountry, and we were at 2190 to where that Remington was at 2235 and the PRC was at 2124. So coming out of a 20-inch barrel, just based on these numbers alone, the Backcountry is doing what they said that it was going to do. Next, we're going to talk about the technology in general and why you should possibly consider a 7 Backcountry. Now I'm just going to give you just some of my personal thoughts on the thing. Everybody's got an opinion on this. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you're not going to make everybody happy. Somebody's going to find something to gripe about, and then some people are just going to jump on the bandwagon because it's something new. I am not a bandwagon kind of guy. Yes, we work with federal, but I literally shoot with pretty much 2 calibers. I hunt smaller game with a 6.5 Creedmoor, and I shoot hunt my big game with a 300 Win Mag. I've never owned a PRC. Or really a 28 nozzle or anything like that. So I'm not a bandwagon guy. I do like what Federal's doing, and obviously the numbers here didn't lie. I think it's pretty cool. Somebody's got to be innovative and start with something new, at least to be able to bring it to the mainstream. And really all they're doing with this, instead of adding more power, more powder, or changing something with the casing itself, they're going in a different direction. Instead of adding more powder, they're using a different technology and increasing pressure to get you a different muzzle velocity. So I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that is a big pro on this is right out of the gate, Federal has a lot of support. I don't know the exact number, but there's approximately a dozen rifle manufacturers that are producing or chambering in this caliber. So to me, that means that there's got the huge potential for some staying power with it. And a lot of our companies that we work with, like the Christensen Arms that we're shooting here, Fierce, who we also shoot in our long-range shooting class, Gunworks, Altera, Seekins, I think maybe Savage, I believe, is also manufacturing in the 7 Backcountry. And there's some more too, I just can't remember who they are. But that's a pretty impressive lineup for a brand new cartridge or brand new caliber that's just coming out. The other thing, my biggest thing with it is that I can get that type of performance in a shorter barrel. Every hunt that I do where it's legal to shoot with a suppressor, I'm hunting with a suppressor. And you saw the difference with that Remington Mag, a 26-inch barrel, and you're adding another 8.5 inches to it. I've got an old-time musket that I'm hunting with. I've got a picture of, I actually hunted with that Remington Mag, I don't know, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I've got it in my backpack, and it's sticking way up above my pack, and it looks like I'm literally getting ready to call in coordinates for an airstrike or something. So to have the mobility with a shorter barrel, have my suppressor, and still produce those kinds of numbers is very impressive. In fact, we're going to do a couple of other videos while we're here in Texas on the Backcountry. We're going to do one for you guys just on grouping, see how well it performs We'll do it on paper at 100 yards, and then we'll stretch it out a little bit. And then we're going to do another video and see how well we do stretching it out to 1,000 yards. And if it performs, I just did a video on talking about taking my 300 Win Mag on my mule deer hunt. I may change my mind. So if somebody's planning on calling me out, well, that's not the gun you said you were going to take. I'm giving you a fair warning right now. If the 7mm Backcountry performs, this is probably what I'm going to take on my mule deer hunt. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for some more. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the backcountry, what you think about the technology going in that direction, and let us know if this is something that you would put on your Christmas list for Santa to bring to you. I'll see you guys in the next video.